Hello, my name is Rosemary Wagoner, and I work with two elementary schools in Waynesboro as an instructional technology resource teacher. I'm excited to be a part of the Brainstorm Limitless Learning virtual conference this year, and it is a joint effort with the Shenandoah Valley Technology Consortium, Unison EDU, and the Virginia Society for Technology and Education. My scavenger hunt word is evidence. This will go well with my topic. We will be examining works for evidence to determine if they meet the fair use guidelines and can be used in instruction. There are many great resources online for instruction. It is also very easy to download the many resources. It is wonderful that educators can share resources easily over the internet. We just need to be careful of where the resources come from and if they qualify as fair use. Two sites that teachers get resources that are concerning are Teachers Pay Teachers and Pinterest. Both of these sites have value. You're just depending on others to have posted within the copyright and fair use rules. Kathy Schrock is a tremendous resource. She has a plethora of resources on just about any technology use. She has an entire section devoted to respect for intellectual property. This page can be found at schrockguide.net/intellectual-property. We're going to use a few resources from this page. Common Sense Media also has good resources for staying safe and following fair use guidelines. They have a good lesson plan found at common-sense.org/digital-4-factors-of-fair-use. And this lesson can be downloaded and used for your own purposes. CopyrightKids.org is a good resource for younger children to learn about copyright. They also have a quiz that the students can complete once they have gone through the other resources on the page. Let's look at the factors to determine if something qualifies under fair use. The lesson from Common Sense Media does a good job of explaining the 4 factors of purpose, amount, nature, and effect. Purpose is whether it is for education or business for profit. How are you going to use the work? Teaching is an area where you can use some copyright materials, but it isn't free reign. Amount. How much of the work will you be using? Is it a small portion or most of the work? To determine how much of the work you will be using, make sure you look at the original. Nature. What is the nature of the original work? Is it an image, article, song, or video? Songs and videos have more restrictions. Effect. How will the work affect the creator? Will it have a financial impact on the creator that keeps them from making money? Earlier I mentioned that it is concerning to use Pinterest and Teachers Pay Teachers. The reason I find it concerning is that you may not always be sure that the person who posted it or selling has the right to do so. Try to find the original when possible. Some of the things that I've seen teachers get from Teachers Pay Teachers involve released SOL items that the teacher selling the item put time into making into a resource. This type of thing is fine to use as the released SOL items are in the public domain. Once they're posted, anything you find from a government site is public domain. Teachers also like to share things. If you purchase something from Teachers Pay Teachers, make sure you have the right to share it with your team. Many images you find within the school Google accounts are for commercial use. Let's look at what this looks like. If I were to add an image to this Google slide document, go to Insert, Image, search the web, and we're going to look for school items. And let's see. Let's look at this image right here. We're going to click on the magnifying glass, and it tells us that the image was labeled for commercial use with modification. So we can use this image. Some creators will not want you to modify their image. In this case, we don't have to worry about that. We're going to modify this to fit in our presentation. While not all images are licensed for commercial use, quite a few are. If you're in doubt if something would fit into fair use, a quick email to the creator can resolve the issue. Many artists will be glad to share their work with teachers and students. We did this when I was working with some middle school students some years ago with a new and upcoming music group. The students were working on making a podcast of what it would be like on the battlefield during the Civil War and wanted to use the group's song in their podcast. The group gave permission and wanted to see the end product. Another good rule of thumb to think about when looking for resources is how you would feel if you created it and someone used it without your permission. This is also a good way to help students understand why copyright laws are important. About 8 years ago, we had a band of some middle and high school students. I knew that the middle school group I was working with knew the students. I asked them how they thought the group members would feel if they shared one of their songs and they were no longer able to make money on the song. The general thought about artists is that they make a lot of money on their art. That isn't always true, especially when they're first starting out. Here are a few places you can go to get royalty-free songs, images, videos, and lessons. freeplaymusic.com is a great resource for music. While many of the songs are instrumental, they're perfect for playing in the background of a presentation or movie. While many Pixabay.com has images you're free to use. CreativeCommons.org has images, videos, and songs that are free to use. If you want to add something to share with others, you can also do that at this site. To search for images, go to Search for CC Images and click that and enter your search topic and click Search. Then hover over a picture and click on the icons. And it will tell us this one is in public domain. There's no copyright that you have to worry about. Each image will show you how to page can be used. You can right click on the image to save the image so you can have it readily available for multiple projects. Make sure to save it in a location that is easy to find. emediavirginia.org has a wealth of educational videos, images, documents, and lesson plans that Virginia teachers can use. If you don't have an account, contact someone in your technology department. Once you log in, you can search by keyword or SOL. I'm going to demonstrate how to search with the SOL filter. First, choose a subject, then the grade level, and then the SOL. Now go back up to the search field and enter and we're going to enter erosion and search, and these are the sites that are listed. Go open va.org is provided for teachers in Virginia with activities, lesson plans, textbooks, courses, activities and assessments, and much more. The goal of GoOpenVA.org is to provide teachers in Virginia with resources that are high quality and free to use. If you have some great lessons you would like to share, this site would like to have those also. To search, enter a keyword, and then you could be given a range of resources to choose from. I'm going to enter weathering and search. If you look under material type, there are many different material types you can further that are available, and you can further search. While we need to know this information and practice good use of fair use ourselves, we also need to teach our students to respect others' intellectual property. I have shared some resources that can help you teach your students. The Common Sense Media lesson is designed for 7th grade. You can adjust it up or down for just about any secondary class. The Copyright Kids site is a good resource for younger children. Starting at 3rd grade, you can start showing them how to view the copyright for images from within their Google accounts. I would suggest having them research for images from within their Google accounts, as they will find more there that can be used. Just searching Google Images will display many images and not tell you whether or not they can be used in school projects. Let's see what this looks like. Here is a search for erosion in Google Images. There are several images in our search that have .gov in the link, which means it's in public domain. You just have to look for them a little bit. Here is one. Many of the .gov images are from the National Park Service, so they're in the public domain. The National Geographic and Kids Geo pictures do not state that they can be used freely. In fact, the Kids Geo site is trying to sell their service to schools. Displaying their images would be acceptable, but I would not recommend downloading them and putting them in a presentation or movie. As you scroll through the images, you will see one from Soils for Teachers.org. Here's an example. This site has free resources for teachers. Using an image from their site is keeping with their mission. As you can see from our search, we found several we could use. You just have to look through them and review the websites the images are housed on. I hope I've given you a few ways that you can evaluate the resources you find online. I also maintain a website with helpful tips. My website can be found at mswagonerscorner.weebly.com. If you have questions, feel free to contact me at rwagoner@waynesboro.k12.va.us. Thanks for watching, and don't forget the scavenger hunt word is evidence.